a very strong heart,
yes.
those who fight for a good cause. Let's say hi to Noraini Hashim, the Publicity Coordinator, Viva Palestina Malaysia, and Professor Datin Zahurin Muhammad, for the committee member for Viva Palestina Malaysia.
Hello, Assalamualaikum.
Hello,
Good morning.
Waalaikumsalam.
Good
Very
morning.
good morning.
And tell us, before, just to start us off, what is the Viva Palestina Malaysia all about?
Okay, Viva Palestina Malaysia, we call ourselves VPM for short. Now, VPM was formed at the height of the brutal and siege of Israel on Gaza. That happened in late 2008, in December 2008. You know, if you recall, about 1,400 people were killed, and most of them were civilians, and children were included. About 300 children were killed, and a lot of homes destroyed, a lot of facilities were destroyed. You know, a group of us got together then to try and do something, to try and make a difference, and that's when VPM was formed. So it is a coalition, actually. It's not just one single organization. A lot of many other organizations came into it. And what is most interesting is that VPM cuts across any, you know, racial divide, ethnic divide, and religious divide, and most of all, even political divide. You know, our main aim is to try and do something. We are mainly an advocacy group, okay, and we advocate to try and get a just and equitable solution, a resolution to what's happening, the human crisis that's happening in Palestine. And eventually what we hope to do is to create a free and independent Palestine. So we all work together towards that.
Now, on this issue, I mean, a lot of organizations have come forward. They've tried their best to make Israel see reason, but they seem to be a very stubborn government. And every time they elect a new prime minister, there's a hint of hope, but nothing really gets done. So how are you hoping to actually break down this very stubborn Israeli wall, which is not a physical wall, it's more of a state of mind? How do we change this going forward?
Yes, that is why, you know, we can do so much, okay?
Yes.
But we carry out a lot of awareness programs, okay? Because, you know, we are not that big. So what we like to do is actually also involve the public in it. So we do a lot of awareness programs, okay? We go to schools, we go to corporations, you know, corporate bodies, universities even. And even at the school level, we try to tell them that this is actually a humanitarian crisis. A lot of people would have it that, you know, this is a religious issue. It is not, okay? You know, it is Islam against Yahudi, the Jews, but it is not that. It is much more than that.
Right.
It is a humanitarian issue which should involve everybody.
It's very interesting. Can I look at your...
Sure.
Because I was looking at it through online, and I like it when the meaning of home in occupied Palestine, Lauren Booth, sister-in-law to former British PM Tony Blair.
That's right.
And again, you said this is not about religion, it's about human rights. So we have people from other religions also fighting for the Palestinians.
Exactly.
So maybe you can tell us a little bit about the events that's going to be happening soon.
All right.
For the launch
Maybe
itself?
Noraini will tell you about that.
Viva Palestina Malaysia, we got our registration approved in November last year, and we're planning to have a launch of Viva Palestina Malaysia by Dr. Mahathir Mohamad on January 22nd, and it'll be held in conjunction with a dinner talk by Lauren Booth. I think you can see on the poster, she's a broadcast journalist from the UK. She's the sister-in-law of the former British PM Tony Blair, and she's actually very passionate about Palestinian issues. She's been involved with Palestine since year 2005, when she actually went into Palestine, and she saw for herself life for the Palestinians under the Israeli regime. So we think it will be quite an interesting evening, and apart from the talk and the launch, we have a very interesting lineup of activities and entertainment. We've got the launch of our Viva Palestina theme song, which was composed by Johan Nawawi and will be sung by Dina, I think the Malaysian Idol runner-up, and with also VPM members and kids who will be singing the song. And we're appealing to all corporates and individuals to come and support us, because the funds raised will be used for projects in Gaza, which have been especially picked by our delegation who went across to Gaza in a convoy called Lifeline to Gaza in October. So they were actually in Gaza, and they've identified these projects, and with the funds raised, they'll be going into Gaza again in May.
Okay.
Yeah, to
So
disperse.
maybe can you tell us a little bit about
what we're looking at right
What
now.
are we
yeah,
looking at?
Okay, this is the flash mob. This is one of the activities. We've been in existence for 2 years.
Okay.
This is our most recent activity, which is a flash mob. It was actually acted, on the anniversary of the invasion. It was actually acted out by our own VPM members.
Right.
It's supposed to depict the atrocities committed on the Palestinians by the IDF. So you can see these are the IDF soldiers coming in, and this was at KL Central, and the rest of the committee took part as Palestinians, and it's basically to reflect the cruelty and the atrocities committed by the IDF on normal civilians in Gaza. So as you can see, I think we had quite a lot of attention from the,
I know. I would be
walking
running
around KL Central. Yeah.
This is done at KL Central, so it's quite realistic, and but we had permission and all that from KL Central itself, so we would like to thank them for coming in with us on this one.
Well, that looks like a very, very real enactment of a situation. Even looking at the enactment, I'm sure you can feel for the Palestinians having gone through this themselves. Talk to us a little bit about the issue on ground in Palestine, actually. Why is there this refusing to budge kind of mindset on the part of the Israeli government? I mean, it's so simple as stop construction, and even a simple thing like that, they can't seem to bring themselves to do. Why is that so?
That's right. No, that is why we would like to highlight the fact that, Gaza especially is still under siege, okay? Things, are not allowed to be brought in and brought out. Things like construction materials, they're not allowed to be brought in at all. And when Noraini was talking about the land convoy, that was only given like 3 days to be in Gaza after a 6 weeks journey. But in those 3 days, they actually saw the destruction that's going on around them. And, it was a very humbling experience with them. And when they came back, they were determined to actually do something. And that doing something is what this dinner is all about. We would like to raise funds to actually support 4 projects at the moment. There were many projects, but 4 of these projects were presented to our VPM members. And can I just go through each of these different projects that we would like to support? Now, there are 4 different projects. The first one is actually to help the Palestinians to set up small businesses. So we have our NGO partner over there in Gaza that will actually identify projects, give them interest-free loans, and up to a maximum of US $2,500. And they plan to actually do maybe 20 projects to start off with. That's the first one. The other one is to provide employment of women. Okay, and because already they saw that there was a small factory that produced cakes and pastries and embroideries and stuff like that. And what they would like to do is actually to provide more money, technical support in order to help these women who are widowed, some of them, or husbands with no. And also I would like to highlight the fact that actually almost 50% of the Palestinians, they do not have a proper job. And 80% of the families are still receiving aid and dependent on that aid. So that is why it is our mission to actually set up this small employment, help them in that way, not where we did before in bringing food and medical supplies, and inshallah we will continue doing that. But this we feel that is more sustainable. Perhaps the third one is the fact that is an integrated farm system for food. As we know, as I was saying, things are difficult to get into Gaza, so prices are very high. So they would like to. They have plenty of land, so they would like to use that land to cultivate and to create farms and so on, so that they will be a little bit more self-dependent. And the last one is in order to protect their heritage, they also would like to set up maybe small crafts in order to give job opportunities for women as well as for people who were maimed you know, so that one at least. So, you know, all these projects we hope will give a lease of life.
Yes, yes, and can give them the self-empowerment that
exactly.
so need.
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
And that is why we need, you know, the people to come into our dinner. Maybe Noraini would tell how you would get
we've
through.
got table sales going from 2,500 to 30,000. So we appeal to corporates, but individuals can also buy individual seats. We welcome all donations, big or small, and donations 50,000 and above, you'll be able to present a mock check to Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. So we would like to appeal to the Malaysian public and the corporates to come and support us at this launch.
In your previous events, how supportive have the Malaysian public been of your activities?
Okay, we started off 2 years ago with the launch of our awareness campaign at the Bangsa Sports Complex by Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. We had quite good media coverage and reasonable support from the public. But I think the public also have been made aware of the fact that this is not a religious issue. This is a humanitarian issue, which is why when we invited NGOs to be part of this coalition, we invited also non-Muslim NGOs like Christian and Buddhist groups. So, but there is this impression outside that this is a religious issue, but we would like to emphasize the fact that it is not. Yeah, so even I think Nelson Mandela himself said that this is the biggest humanitarian, I think, tragedy or crisis in the modern world. The plight of the Palestinians should be a concern for all human beings, not just Muslims.
Yes, that's true. So how to get more information about this? If individuals would like to join in and, you know, buy
I think there's a telephone number,
and there's also
a website.
Okay, but perhaps you can give some telephone numbers.
The website is on that name card there, if you'd like to read it out.
See, the website is www.vivapalestina.my.org. So we will once again connect you to it on our Facebook page.
Okay. And the numbers are to call. We have Azra 016-209-4500, Norma 012-222-1222, Mimi 012-372-3135, Zabrina 012-977-5156, or Jemima 013-231-4596. Okay, guys, so this is the information. You guys also Google up Viva Palestina Malaysia.
Yes, we have a Facebook and we're also on Twitter.
Okay, okay. So, I mean, again, using technology for a good cause. Using technology for a good cause. Very interesting. Do you have like a message that you would like to shout out to everyone out there?
Yes, So we appeal to everyone to please join us, because at the dinner on the January 22nd is going to be at Mandarin Oriental, and you know, apart from being
tables
entertained,
are still available.
Yes, definitely, very much so. You know, apart from being entertained, as I say, Nasheed Group, our own VPM song by Johan Nawawi,
and
inshallah.
a rapper. We have a Japanese rapper.
A Japanese rapper. We would also, you know, it's also going to be extremely educational. Lauren Booth is going to give that talk on what it means to have a home in the occupied land. And so, you know, overall, I think, you know, and you know, on top of it all is also a charity dinner. You know that whatever money that is going to be spent will be very well spent, inshallah, for all those projects that we were telling you about. And, you know, we're hoping to go maybe in May, inshallah, to actually bring that money. So whatever amount, it depends on you out there to actually help us support it.
We've heard a lot of news coming out of this troubled zone, so I know that you want to help. You probably don't really know how. This is one of the many ways that you can, so please come forth and do your best.
Okay, a little short question. If I do not have the financial to help, how else can I contribute? What are the other means?
Yeah, that's easy.
Thank you, Yasmin. Yeah, that's
You can
right.
be a volunteer for us. Just sign up. Just contact us on the Facebook.
No, because through all the activities that we do, we need a lot of volunteers. And, you know, we do fun things. For example, we actually were given permission to go to Sunway Pyramid. And all we did was wear as common T-shirts. And we sent out the young kids, you know, some of them were very, very, very small, to the rink, to the ice rink, and with all these messages, you know. So the message is very, very, what's the word? Very important to us to try and get it to people that this is a humanitarian issue that you have to support. So again, Yasmin, we need lots and lots of volunteers. On the website, we have a way of registering. So, it's not something that is, because the government supports it, so people do not have to be afraid to say that, they will be caught or whatever, because, it's something. And, if people want to be involving themselves in a certain issue, I feel that this is a very good cause to be involved in. Thank you.
Yeah.
And so once again, there you go. Do contact them on Facebook or log on to their website. Find out all the information you need to make your choice. And of course, do come for the dinner.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much
Thank you
for
for
joining
having
us
us.
today.
Thank you,
But
Terence.
maybe you can share with us what are the other countries that are doing, other than Malaysians. You said about Nelson Mandela and so on.
Oh, there are many other countries. For example, in the international convoy, there were people from as far away as New Zealand, USA, and people from the UK, from Europe. So, and I believe at least half of the convoy participants were non-Muslim. So I think people abroad, a lot of them understand that it's a non-Muslim issue, but I think here in Malaysia, we have to focus a bit more on that. In fact, in 2011, we're hoping to invite 2 non-Muslim speakers, I think Stephen Sizer and Professor Van Eyck, I think, to come and give a talk on this issue, just to drive home that fact.
Perhaps, Noraini, I could just add that we are only Viva Palestina Malaysia, but the original Viva Palestina, that was formed by George Galloway, an ex-MP of Britain. But also there is Viva Palestina, Arabia, Viva Palestina. If you look at the website, there are a lot of other countries that have
Canada,
their own.
USA.
Exactly.
Right,
And as Noraini pointed out, many of them are non-Muslim. They just see it, for what it is, which is a humanitarian crisis, humanitarian issue.
I like that. We get that straight.
Yeah, it's a message that is getting more and more following, as you can see. You can just log on to their Facebook page and you can see how many friends they already have. So please do, once again, come forward and support this cause. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic
Thank you.
talking to you. And just before we say goodbye to you, as usual, we would like to remind you that we are now officially on Facebook.
We are on Facebook. You can type in your questions or your comments. We can check it out now. iPad. iPad, technology rocks, and it's nice to know technology is helping for a good cause. So you know what? Be very aware. Use technology for good things, not face crooks.
On that note, I'd like to say thank you for joining us this morning. And you know what? Keep us company every morning. 8:30 is our cutoff point. We're on from 7:30, so join us.
Yes, and I just want to say a quote from Avatar.
Avatar.
Professor Moya was saying, through your eyes, I see you.
I see you. I see you. We don't see you, but you see us.
I see you.
Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye, Malaysia.
Goodbye.